Hello, my name is Maggie Sather, and this is Group 4's project over Allegiant Travel Company. Allegiant is a leisure travel company focused on providing travel services and products to residents of underserved cities in the United States. As we will discover, our recommended course of action for Allegiant is the acquisition of Spirit Airlines. Throughout this presentation, we will explore Allegiant's mission and objectives, perform an external and internal analysis, and then develop, implement, and evaluate strategic objectives. Allegiant's mission statement focuses on the following. Who? High value, low cost to customers for residents of underserved cities. What? Travel experiences. When? Within 2 years. Where? Across the United States. Why? To ensure the well-being of the locations and communities that their company serves. And how? By providing travel services and products to residents of underserved cities in the United States. Allegiant's vision is to become North America's premier leisure travel and services provider that offers the best prices for flights and transportation to travel destinations. Their objectives are to improve customer satisfaction, improve customer awareness and brand recognition, increase market share, improve customer retention, and exceed Federal Aviation Administration regulations.
My name is Matt Stevenson. There are 5 general environmental factors that affect Allegiant's business performance and profitability. Demographic factor. Allegiant serves individuals and families who seek a less expensive alternative to vacationing, as well as those who seek travel to underserviced locations. Education levels and classes in a population affect how much of the population has consumers that are interested in these services. Sociocultural factor. Allegiant Travel Company is subject to the leisure interests of the cultures it serves, as well as the attitudes toward travel. Sociocultural perception of the locations Allegiant offers as destinations is critical to the business. Additionally, increased sustainability is becoming a desired trait by consumers and industries alike. Political or legal factor. Allegiant Travel Company will need to obtain permits for flights to locations, as well as abide by laws of air travel. Events such as 9/11 or the COVID-19 pandemic can result in government regulations that inhibit flights or make the process more costly for airlines. Allegiant is also subject to labor, minimum wage, discrimination, and health and safety laws, as well as many others. Technology factor. Technology affects every part of the operating process for Allegiant Travel Company, from a customer's purchasing of a ticket through a website or application to the mechanics of the airplanes. These technologies can affect Allegiant's business and that of their competitors. Technologies that lower costs, increase profits, and deliver a better customer experience are beneficial to Allegiant. Global factor. Allegiant is subject to global events that affect the United States and its economy. This includes pandemics, climate change, political instability, currency values, and stock. When the U.S. economy is healthy and people are spending money, they are more likely to book a flight or a trip with Allegiant Travel Company.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I will be talking about Allegiant opportunities, threats, and strengths and weaknesses. So, for us to find opportunities and threats, we utilized Allegiant 2020 10K, and we found at least 50 opportunities and 50 threats. There were so many that were so good to list, but we are going to list some of the ones that are really, really important to mention. For example, for opportunities, the increasing passenger demand is a really good opportunity, especially once the pandemic lists are starting to happen. It will be more helpful for the company. Also, since this company is within a competitive industry, this means that there are high barriers to entry. So there is a lot of money and a lot of resources that are required for a company to enter in this industry. Also, with the lifting of restrictions that also allowed the reopening of leisure destinations, which is great because Allegiant had been increasing their offers of resorts, golf courses, and more. Now, there are some threats such as the taxes and regulation increasing over time, and there is the pandemic going on right now. And also, there is always the worries of data breach, which is not too great considering that there is a lot of information going on when a passenger has to put in their names, ID, everything into the ticket. Also, labor costs are really, really high when it comes to anything related to the airline industry. Now, some of the strengths for Allegiant is that they are strong and effective when it comes to communication, if you can see the visual change. And then also, they are getting more diversification in their business, which allows them to enforce their wildcatter model. For example, they, like I mentioned before, they are building golf courses. They are trying to have more resorts. They are trying to make sure that customers are trying to have to go towards the option Allegiant is offering more than just going through each individual order confirmation. And now some of the weaknesses also include that there is the management structure showing the lack of diversity. There is also a poor reputation regarding passenger safety, which is a really big weakness right now when it comes to the pandemic. And then also how Allegiant net income, EBIT, and EBT as percentage of revenues have more than half since the height in 2015. So we have to keep all of this information in mind when it comes to future plan for Allegiant. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Tyler Stecker, and today I'll be talking to you about the courses of action we developed for Allegiant as a group. So course of action 1 is the purchase of 5 new Airbuses A320s under 10 years old. This strategy is beneficial for Allegiant because of the age of the planes and how this age acts as a buffer of safety for the company and reduces the threat of new technology and having to invest in new technology and have it potentially go through its issues, which we see occur often. The financial burden on Allegiant will be minimized compared to investing in brand new technology that hasn't been tested yet. And the acquisition of the Airbuses increases the sales of Allegiant, or potentially increases them, as they could offer more flights at the same time, as well as more destinations, and increasing their fleet size. They could also increase the destinations. The second course of action is to develop a pilot retention and acquisition program. This will give Allegiant a competitive advantage by having employees that are loyal and have these retention programs in place, and that offer incentives for the employees of the company and for the pilots primarily. It's a preservative measure for employee turnover, especially through things like the pandemic, and it's cost effective for the company over time, as it'll keep employees in rather than turning over employees. The final course of action is the acquisition of Spirit Airlines, which benefits the company in 2 ways. It acquires more planes from Spirit Airlines, which kind of eliminates the reasoning for course of action 1, as it includes it. And it also increases and expands the company's impact across the country, as they'll be acquiring a cost leader and increasing the company's size, which will ultimately benefit Allegiant.
Hello, my name is Landon Wade. I'm here to go over the decision matrix for Allegiant Airlines with you. As you see on the left side of the table, we have our 3 courses of action, 3 strategies. Strategy 1, purchasing 5 new Airbuses. Strategy 2, developing a pilot retention program. And strategy 3, the acquisition of Spirit Airlines. This table allows us to assess each and every one of these strategies against the objectives of Allegiant Airlines. We're able to see quantitatively how these things compare to one another and their impact on these objectives. That's really helpful for us to be able to decide what the best strategy is. The objectives are on the top row, and we're able to see the total points on the right side. It's pretty easy to see that strategy 3 is the best strategy, not only because it has the highest total points, but if you look at each category, the strategy 3 really is pretty much the best in every way. The only place that it lacks is exceeding Federal Aviation Administration regulations, the last objective in the chart. And this is important to Allegiant Airlines, but strategy 3 isn't detrimental to this objective. It just doesn't help it as much as one of the other options does. Whereas in all of the other categories and objectives of Allegiant Airlines, this strategy is most effective, and it's pretty easy to tell that. So that being said, our recommended course of action is number 3, the acquisition of Spirit Airlines. We'd recommend that because it helps achieve all the objectives as outlined in the decision matrix, but also because it's really just the best move for the company at this point. It helps them capitalize on strengths that they already have, as well as expanding within the market that they already serve. So it really helps to increase customer attention, increase customer awareness, and also start to expand their business a little bit. And it even starts to encompass the expansion of their empire, their assets, similar to some of the other options. So it really starts to encompass and embody what their objectives are. And the decision table helps us see that as well. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sierra Onesto. And after identifying our company's recommended course of action, we'll be moving into the business canvas model. So understanding the business canvas model a little bit more, we'll be grouping it into 3 sections. So for the first section, we'll have the key partners, activities, and resources. So the key partners identifies Allegiant's buyers and suppliers, and then the key activities and key resources identify some of the services or systems and technologies that these buyers and suppliers offer. Then moving into the second section, we have value propositions, a more customer-based section, which includes relationships and segments, and then lastly, channels. So value propositions are opportunities that Allegiant is thinking or considering of offering for its customers. And then customer relationships and segments identifies not only customers, but other important members of Allegiant, which includes pilots and employees. And then relationships kind of just talks about the interactions or some of these relationships that are implemented within the company. And then lastly, channels is some of the programs or softwares that actually increase these interactions and relationships. And then the last section, we have cost and revenue. So cost structure is going to be reflective of the section above, and it includes variable costs and fixed costs that are directly related to the buyers and suppliers services. And then the revenue streams includes opportunities for growth or increasing income or new streams of income through these different opportunities or propositions. So that includes new technologies, servicing underserved locations, offers a competitive advantage. So after considering the business canvas model and our recommended course of action, the acquisition of Spirit Airlines will offer Allegiant a competitive advantage by allowing the firm to become, or allowing the company to become a cost leader in its market, and also allowing Allegiant to become the travel agency with the second highest number of destinations. So using the business canvas model and our other analysis, we're able to make these considerations and decisions that will allow the company to continue to grow and expand and allow Allegiant to become the best travel agency to create the best travel experiences for its customers. Thank you.